Mosaic workshops, and what I'm going to look at now is how I take an original mosaic and make a copy of it, and how much detail that I go into. So this is one. This is from it's a couple of sea creatures from the small piece of mosaic that is at the Roman baths in Bath in England, and it's this sea creature on the right that I'm doing now. One of the first things I look at is the actual size of the tesserae, because the size of the tesserae will give me an idea about how what sort of width and length that I can do. So something like this, you can see if you look at my arrow there on its sort of jawline there, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, roughly 11 tesserae, top to bottom there. It's 11, so let's call that 13 there. And then you're going to be looking at a little bit longer. There's going to be about 15 to 16 on the other length there. Now, this is important because it gives me an idea of what size it's going to be and what size of board that it will fit on. Now, one of the big things you have to look at here is the difference in tesserae size. So you can see some of them are a little bit larger than standard, some are a little bit smaller. This is not uncommon where you get this detailing in around the side, but you've got to think that I'm not going to have tesserae that size. They're all going to be, I'm going to pick an average size, which will be some of these, say down here on this black line. So you need to measure your tesserae that you have, and then that will give you an idea. So you sort of like 5 of your tesserae, and then you extrapolate that up, and that gives you the height and the width of the pattern. Now let's have a look at that in detail. So here, this is my copy on the right, and if we have a look at what I've done now, you need to keep as much details as you can to keep it recognizable for what it is. So you've got the main ones. Obviously, this is fairly straightforward, fairly simple. I've got the lines here, the black lines there, the position of the eye, the different shading in there, and details like this on the main up there. But it's up to you how much you can copy. You don't want to be doing a piece for piece copy. If you're doing a piece for piece copy, then go down that road. You need to be tracing around each piece and transferring it over. That's a different objective, really. This is to be working to have something that's recognizable as what from the original, but you need to be able to create it in a way that you would be able to replicate it, that you're using your style, the particular that you're able to put into the rules in there. So as we can see here, I've got these black lines in now. Take a look just to the eye, just to the right and below it. You see they've got some quite larger tesserae there. I've had to get 2 lines of tesserae in, but you can see what I've done where I have this semicircle here, and then just to the right of that we've got the line, this curved line which ends in the triangle there, and then with the white here I've had to add another couple again because I'm using a fairly consistent size of tesserae there, but it's getting the same thing. You have the eye in the same position, you have the lighter area here and here. Now the colouring is always going to be difficult. Even if you're doing a piece for piece copy, we do not have the colour range that they did, even if you're working in marble. So use what you've got. What are the dark areas? What are the light areas? What does it look like in between? And go with that. Important details are here. The eye, you can see I've gone a little bit smaller. I've gone half size of my working size of tesserae, which is 10 mil. I think that's about 3/8 of an inch, something like that. You can see here that I've got these 2 lines coming up there. You've got the curve. I haven't got so much of a curve on there, but maybe if I did that again, I might get a little bit more. It is difficult because you don't see, this is the extent of the mosaic that I did, but you don't see the rest of it. So something that is recognizable as a copy of the original. A bit closer up there, you can see here, I've got that one piece that I've shaped. That's pretty much an indeterminate shape there, but the rest of them, you can see the triangles, you can see this combining, this convergence here. So that's it. Make a mosaic that is recognizable as from the original mosaic, but only go into as much detail as you need to. Find where the dark areas are, find where the light areas are, make sure you have the important details put in, and then everything else should fit in.